Okay. People, untold numbers of people, have been hunting for Bigfoot for hundreds of years. Now, Spike TV is putting some big money into that hunt.
Because they're serious about this. It's a new reality show called the $10 Million Bigfoot Bounty.
Before we get started with the hunt, I have the results from your field test. Natalia, how did the teams do?
Dean, the teams did awesome. You provided a lot of DNA samples that Dr. Todd was able to analyze. Unfortunately, none of your samples contain unidentified DNA, so none of those bugs bit Bigfoot.
And there she is.
Hi.
Natalia Reagan.
Hi, how are you?
Who's, you know, your CV is one of the most interesting I've ever read. You're a primatologist and a comedian.
Studying
Yes, I
spider
am.
monkeys
Yeah.
for real.
Yeah.
Spider monkey, the Azuero spider monkey in the Azuero Peninsula of Panama.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so how did the show come about? How did you hook up with this NYU professor? And
Well, that's a great question. I actually, I've been making science comedy videos for about 4 years now that, you know, I've explained the evolution of breasts in women. I've talked about how pheromones play a role in human mating. And I met Dr. Todd a few years back, and he introduced me to the wonderful producers of the show. And they said, you know, we want a primate behavior specialist. Would you be interested in looking for Sasquatch? And hey, why not?
So I think of Survivor.
Yeah.
One of the producers of Amazing Race is tied to the project. This is serious. It's the real deal, though.
Yeah, this is very serious, and the science that we did is great science. That's actually a big draw of the show. We had a mobile DNA lab, which will change the way field work is done in the future, because now when you go out to the field, you don't have to wait months to take your samples back and just hope you can get them into the country. You can analyze them right there and find out, you know, what's going on with your primates.
But Natalia, that's fine with primates, but I think people at home are thinking, what DNA are you going to bring back that's going to tell you whether there's a Bigfoot or not?
Well, it would have to be non-human primate DNA that is different from chimpanzees and gorillas, any sort of living apes.
But can you find it in this location on a TV show?
Yes, you can. Yeah, we
And
actually
if you do, you get $10 million.
You do get well, you need visual and DNA proof, so they have to actually get a picture as well. So that ups the ante right there. But yes, they actually can. Although, you know, I can't say what happens, but the last team standing gets a $100,000 research grant, so they can keep going and looking for Sasquatch. Because a lot of these teams actually do this on their time off. This is their lifestyle. They're squatchers. And they're great.
There have been people in the past who have said, hey, we got visual evidence, look at this film. Okay, it's a little grainy, we didn't focus very well. So you're saying they have to have visual evidence. I was going with you for a minute when if you collect a mosquito and inside that mosquito is blood,
yes,
that you can't otherwise identify. That makes sense to me. But Lloyd's of London didn't like that alone.
They want to take it a step further, and obviously this is television. They want to see visual evidence. They want to have that wonderful photo or video, because that's what excites, I think, the American public, is seeing, you know, something actually walking that looks like a bipedal human, but that's different. That's actually, you know, a Sasquatch. It I think would blow somebody's mind, and it would be the biggest find in science.
We've been hearing about this for a long, long time. I grew up in the search for Bigfoot. And I was reading some of the comments about this show, and one person saying, hey, there's a search out there for life on other planets. Why is this so different? Because serious people are involved in this hunt for Bigfoot. Researchers, credible people have these sightings. Some people are true believers that this is the real deal out there.
Yeah, and I take all their accounts seriously, and I want to hear their theories, because as somebody that studies primates, they have some really interesting ideas of what this new species is like. You know, what's their family structure like? What's their diet like? What do they look like? Their locomotion. Some teams think they're walking on two legs and they're walking on their knuckles. And I come to them with primate information, and they amend their theories. We actually watch these teams that are so dead set on what they believe on change their theories as they gain more information.
Apparently in the Congo in 2006, there was rumors the natives had talked about this ape forever, and they actually found this ape?
Well, there was, I don't know if it's the Bindi chimpanzee
it's
or the Billy chimpanzee.
Billy
Yeah. The Billy chimpanzee was actually, a friend of mine actually studied in that area, and it's just a very large chimpanzee. It's not necessarily they thought it was a gorilla chimpanzee possible hybrid, but it was not.
We want everybody to know that there are new episodes. You're on episode 4. It's Fridays at 10 p.m. on Spike TV. Make sure that you tune it in. You're going to tell us whether you believe?
I'm rooting for one of these
You know,
teams.
I am a skeptic. However, I'm open. I am very open.
Skeptic who's open.
And I also want to say, if you guys want to check out any more fun comedy science videos, I have a website, nataliareagan.com. Dr. Todd, the lovely man with the mohawk, and I have a new little web series going on. So.
All right, thank you so much. And we want to leave you, while you're thinking of Bigfoot, we want to leave you with the leader of the world. The State of the Union is next, everybody.